Hello and welcome back to the Mechanic Cooks. Today we're making homemade Jajangmyeon, also known as Korean black bean noodles. This dish is rich, savory, and loaded with pork, vegetables, and a deep black bean sauce that coats every noodle. Peel a potato and cut into 3/4 inch cubes. Boil for 10 minutes and set aside. We'll need it in a bit. Please like, subscribe, and go to themechaniccooks.com for more great recipes. A link and the ingredients list is in the description. We're starting with pork shoulder and pancetta. For a dish like this, the fat is important. As the pork cooks, it renders down and becomes the base for the entire sauce. Instead of adding oil, we're building flavor directly from the pork itself. Cut into about 3/4 inch cubes. You want the meat to stay noticeable in the final dish instead of disappearing into the sauce, but small enough so it will tenderize during the cooking. Place in a cold wok over medium-low heat. This will allow the pork to render and not burn. Don't rush this part. Let the pork slowly brown and render its fat. You want some caramelization on the edges and enough rendered fat in the pan to cook the rest of the dish. Once the pork is browned, remove and leave the fat behind. It's okay for some of the pancetta pieces to be left in the pan. It's all flavor. Now for one of the most important steps in the recipe, frying the black bean paste. I'm using chunjang, which is a Korean black bean paste with a deep fermented flavor. It's made from wheat flour and fermented soybeans, not the black beans as the name implies. On its own, it can taste slightly bitter and harsh, but frying it in the pork fat smooths it out and gives the sauce a much richer flavor. Cook it for about 30 seconds to a minute, just until it darkens slightly and smells nuttier and less sharp. Then remove and set aside. Next, add the onions. Let them soften a bit in the rendered pork fat, the bits left from the black bean paste and some of the pork. This is all flavor. Then add the ginger. Ginger isn't always traditional here, but I like the little bit of freshness that it adds against the heavier sauce. Cook the onions until they're softened and lightly translucent. Open a space in the middle and add the garlic. Let that toast up a bit and release its aroma. Now in goes the cabbage, zucchini, and pre-cooked potatoes. The potatoes are important because they naturally help thicken the sauce as they simmer. Cook the vegetables for a few minutes to soften slightly, then return the pork to the pan along with the fried black bean paste. Add a small splash of soy sauce and the chicken stock, then mix everything together. At first, the sauce might seem a little thin, but give it time. The vegetables release moisture, the potatoes break down slightly, and the black bean paste starts coating everything. After about 15 to 20 minutes, the sauce becomes thick, glossy, and rich. One thing I really like about Jajangmyeon is that even though the ingredient list is simple, the flavor becomes surprisingly deep. You get sweetness from the onions, richness from the pork fat, savoriness from the fermented black bean paste, and freshness from the vegetables and cucumber garnish. For the noodles, I'm using spaghetti, but traditionally you would use Korean wheat noodles, which are thicker and chewier. This dish is rich, comforting, and packed with savory flavor. It's one of those recipes that looks simple at first, but once everything comes together, you can really see why it's become so popular.